Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Marvin.
I'm sorry.
This is the Weedkend Show.
Podcast.
We are getting ready to roll and get real high for you. How is everybody? Here we are at my pad, me and Sar. As you've noticed, we've always been inside
Yeah.
because a lot of people keep asking, "Hey man, but can you smoke on the street and shit?" And no, just you can't, man. You're not supposed to. And maybe they'll designate some areas. Like I saw in L.A. There's like a certain part of Melrose that they said, hey, from here to here, it's okay. It's like where all the nightclubs are. It's kind of fits with the scene. So maybe they'll do something like that here.
Yeah. One of the things we've been pushing on during the lobbying is to have that. So any designated area that is for smoking right now, there's already like in the U.S. laws and regulations for smoking. So we're trying to have those same rules applied to cannabis, which means that if you have a restaurant or you have a business, you can have a section designated just for cannabis, and also you cannot smoke in public unless it's a designated area. So we're trying to, well, hopefully that comes out that way.
That'd be cool because I mean, it's not like when I'm walking from one place to another, I want to light up a doobie. It's not like that. But it'd be cool, like if you're, at a certain area, like you say, and smoking tobacco's allowed, that you can, light up your joint and chill, and it's definitely smells better than my cigarettes. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, Marvin knows both.
Yeah.
But maybe maybe in a few years you'll stop. We were talking about this last time, and I forgot to say that you should try, well, whenever they're available, you'll try the hemp cigarettes, which is just hemp. It doesn't get you high or anything. It's just like CBD.
Anything, dude.
Yeah.
I've quit twice.
Okay.
I quit once for 5 years, and then I quit a second time for 2 years. I don't enjoy, and I know it's not good for me, the tobacco. So I'll try anything, especially natural,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Nice.
mean, that would be awesome. And because I do enjoy the act of smoking, like as you can see, I have wax, I have, crumble or whatever, and carts and all that, but nothing like a good joint. And so I guess I like the act of smoking just per se. And yeah, I mean, definitely, I would go for hemp, and I wouldn't even think about it. I mean, as soon as I see them, I'm definitely gonna try them, and I'd love to quit tobacco again. I mean, and I'm sure that maybe I in any case enjoy tobacco in a different way. Like you do. Like you grab just the real organic tobacco and maybe mix it up a little bit with a joint. Maybe I'll do that. I like when I've been to Europe. I like when they mix it. It doesn't bother me at all. Probably because I smoke, but still, yeah, I would definitely stop smoking tobacco, and I'd love to try the hemp ones. That'd be awesome.
And actually, for the people that don't know, when we say hemp, it's actually the flower, hemp flower. It's, zero, well, not 0%, less than 0.3% THC in the US. And the thing about this is that it tastes, well, and it smells just like cannabis. Like, so there were some issues in Texas where, Texas is legal, but, then the cops were like, oh, we can't tell if it's like THC or it's CBD, which, that's not the user's problem. That's like the cops' problem. So they actually banned it in Texas for a while. But then they went to the Supreme Court, and I think the court told them that they couldn't do that. They couldn't ban it because they were just banning the cigarettes, just because they don't know what he want. And a lot of people don't even know that there's like stuff that it looks just like your joint, but it has less than 0.3% THC, and it's completely legal in the U.S.
Well, I've seen CBD cigarettes as well. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, those ones, yeah.
yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's like the same thing with the carts. How does a cop know if it's THC or a cigarette? I mean,
Or it's just CBD.
or
Yeah.
if it's just CBD, exactly, dude. Or just flavors. Maybe it doesn't even have tobacco, and the guy just likes to smoke grapes and oranges and walnuts. But so yeah, I mean, it's complicated, and here in Mexico, especially, like the whole e-cigarette industry, it's like banned and it's illegal and everything. It's crazy, man. I'm not saying that I'm in favor or against it. I'm just it was amazing how it was all available, and it's still available because it's Mexico.
Yeah.
But I mean, suddenly it got banned. I was like, what? And everyone started asking me, what up with the THC ones? And I said, well, if the ones that you buy have this, and that, which is what they're saying is the bad, components in it, then don't buy those. And I always tell people, Now we have to take advantage of all the control and the labels and all these things that let you know that it's safe and where it comes from.
Yeah.
And that's what we're fighting for here in Mexico as well. I mean, we don't want just people to be able to light up, and we're not, inviting people to become stoners. We actually want people to know and learn about this amazing plant and all the benefits it has, because that's what we're actually going to talk about today is a little bit about the history of the plant. And it's quite amazing. I mean, all that information you sent me was really awesome. That show that I saw on Netflix, what's it called? Explained? Yeah, that episode on weed, very good, dude. Yeah. Very precise, and I like the duration, it's 25 minutes, boom, you get your info, you understand, and it's cool. It was very well explained, actually.
I bet you that did a lot in the US, because when it came out, I bet you a bunch of people who watched it had no idea. Even maybe the people that were against it were like, oh, wow, I didn't know this has this much history.
Yeah, that's the kind of content we have to create in Mexico, short, precise, to the point. And that way people, I mean, they get a good understanding, because no one there, I mean, maybe if you're in the cannabis industry, you know who those people are, but if not, no one's famous there, like putting their face, saying, hey, man. So I liked it, man. It was very well informed, and the history of cannabis is crazy. It's been around for forever, and it's been present forever until these 100 years where they actually started prohibiting it and giving it a bad rap and saying all this bad stuff about it. But before that, it's amazing. They use it for absolutely everything.
Yeah, we were reading about it, and in the history of cannabis, since we have recorded history, I think it was 6,000 BC. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
It's been they found seeds around people, etc. And in those 6,000 BC, now we're 2,000. I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. AC.
6,000 year history.
Yeah. AC. So then right now, so that's 6, 7, 8,000 years that humans, us, have been involved with cannabis, and only in the past 100 years it became prohibited. So it's just a blip. They were saying this is just a blip, and
it's amazing, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but what a blip, I mean, because it's like I don't know. I mean, it's such an important. I'm not saying. All the moments in history are important, but I mean, the world right now, if anything they could use is this amazing plant to solve a lot of economic issues, to help save the planet, to help a lot of people feel good, to generate jobs. So, I mean, we really have to not just fight for Mexico, but for the whole planet, because it's you know it, I know it, and like I always say, SAR works at this amazing CBD place, and they really study the plant and they analyze it and like the way you're supposed to, and it's very interesting, and it's very calming to know when you're going to take something, where it comes from, and all this information. And that's what we're fighting for here in Mexico. And the history is amazing. It's really crazy. Before these 100 years of bad rap, everything they used it for.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It blows my mind. I mean, it's like, and there used to be hemp growing all over the States because they used it for everything, for building, for clothing, for all the textiles, for sails, for ropes.
Actually, you were required to grow it. So when the first boats came to the U.S., they needed the rope, and they also needed the material for I don't know what you call those in the boats.
The sails.
The sails, yeah. So they needed so much of it because they were colonizing that they were like, if you had land, you had to grow I don't remember what percentage you had to grow hemp.
Yeah, I was watching that and reading it. It's really amazing. I mean, but it's more amazing, like you said. It's just a blimp, like it's just 100 years in how many 6,000, 8,000 years of history that we actually know, and they were if I remember correctly, they were talking that the oldest proof that they found is in China way back then. I mean, imagine that. And it was sativa, and then from the colder places is where the indica comes from. And there's really, and then there's the rudelaris, but those are like the newer ones, where they just grow short and fast and
That's very new.
that's very new.
Yeah.
Like the automatic seeds and all that. It's crazy. It's amazing. I mean, efficiency wise and like if you don't have space and you don't, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think the whole seed thing is what blows my mind the most about plants, like what you can do with seeds genetically and mix and match and this and then extract and take. Wow.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Actually, that's one of the nice things about cultivating. Like, I used to cultivate like in 2010. I had a license, and it just changes your mind about things. You know how people say, we were talking about this, we're so separated from like, the killing of animals where we consume it. We don't know where things come from. Like we become very like separated from nature. And I think the same with plants. Like, a lot of people don't know what it is to grow a plant. Like, to see it go from the seed, from
Definitely.
nothing to like freaking almost a tree.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that's the nice thing about, hopefully, I know that a lot of people are not going to cultivate their own stuff, but it's like, it does change your mind about how things are.
Well, it comes with the whole new movement in the world where you see that, they're promoting autocultivos, no? Not just of weed, of everything, autosustentabilidad. How do you say that in English?
Self-sustainable? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be self-sustainable, it's cool actually. I have friends who grow tomatoes and lettuce and whatnot, and yeah, some of them, other than that, they grow some CBD. They, like my friend in Colorado, Daniel, she has a little bit of everything, parsley, this, that, and it's awesome, dude. I mean, and it's beautiful because it's nature.
Yeah.
It's awesome. When I grew I enjoyed it so much, every part of it. Since the sprouting of the seed, and you're like, oh my God, it's working, and and then you transplant it all carefully into the dirt or whatever you're using, and oh no, it's beautiful. And then to see it and the first leaves, and then the trichomes, forget it, dude. When it starts, sweating out all this resin, wow, man, and the smell, I love it. A lot of people are like, oh, it smells horrible. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, no way.
And you know what? Here in the city, like, dude, at least you're smelling like a nice plant, dude. It smells like, it's always like all this pollution here in Mexico City. It's like, at least you're smelling some natural
I agree.
stuff, But yeah, like, also like the growing thing. Like, I don't know if you ever cloned it. It's also really cool, like cloning them and then seeing that, it's a clone of the other plant, things like that. It's really cool. I think you can compare it to, the people that go like, oh, I kill my own meat, or, I kill my own animals, or I go hunting and they feel better when they eat it. They think that it, psychologically is better, and, they have respect for the animal and things like that. I think that's the same with cannabis. Once you grow it and, from a little seed and all the way to, the flower, and then you smoke it and it's going inside of you, you have like a different respect for that. Because you're like, oh, I grew that, and then I consumed it, and then, now it's in me.
Definitely. And what did you get, like, the difference between indica and sativa? Because I think nowadays there's not really a big difference. That's what I felt, because there's been so much hybrid and crossovers and I mean, I definitely, when I buy, I try to always go for indica.
Yeah.
Because for me, when they tell me it's a sativa, my dealer or whoever, and I buy it, I don't know if it's mental, but I sativa gets me anxious sometimes, and indica always calms me and relaxes me. I don't know if it's a mental thing, or what do you get out of all this information?
I think most likely it is. The power of the mind is very big. It's the placebo effect is a real thing. It's been tested. So I think that's one of the things. But the other thing will be like, let me tell you one thing, right? So like, you don't really know what you're getting. When you have a dealer, like, he can tell you whatever he wants. He can be like, oh, it's sativa. Who knows? Nobody saw the
only
plants.
way is if you actually buy seeds from a real seed place, and you grow it, and you know what you're growing and smoking. But I agree.
Here's a huge example. Like in Colorado, I think 2018, they did a sample from different what's called retailers, but what are they called? Dispensaries. And they tested like the same strain. Let's say that it was like, I don't know, give me a strain, like
Super Lemon Haze.
Okay, Super Lemon Haze. So they grabbed it from like, 5 different or 10 different dispensaries, and then they genetically tested them to see what the genetic was.
Not even close.
It wasn't even the same. Like, none of them were the same.
No, and that's what the Rudaleris are for. I mean, I think if you want to maintain a strain and you want to maintain the same female and you're just, you clone and they're all the same and bloom, bloom, bloom. I think that's the only way. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and the names are just inventions.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, I believe that, Jack Harrer deserves his own seed and his own weed. But I mean, most of the names are just fun names.
Yeah. Well, see, for example, he has the mother plant. Like, is he still alive?
I believe he's not.
Okay. So yeah, so whoever got the plants from him, he has the actual Jack Herr. Whatever
Yeah.
he's calling Jack Herr. I don't know, maybe it has like pine taste or whatever the fuck. So whatever he calls that is the original. But it's just because he put a name to that.
Yeah.
But then whatever comes underneath that, yeah, he sells
But
the
it's like when you
seeds.
name a star.
Yeah.
If you get to see it, oh my God, I discovered it. You get to name it, dude.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
this guy discovered this, and
Yeah.
he made that weed, and he named it.
Yeah. And then
after
like
himself.
you have all these dealers, for example, here in Mexico that then start using that name, but they're just using it. They don't even know what it's supposed to taste
of
like.
course.
Maybe they've seen pictures, so they go like, oh, that's what it looks like. But they don't know what it tastes like and what the components are like. What are the cannabinoid content? What are the terpene contents?
Yeah.
Flavonoids.
I'd like to do a program where we talk about all the different processes, like what's live resin, what's, batter,
Yeah.
what's crumble, what, what's wax, what's the difference, what's an extract in a cart, because, there's so much information and there's so many variants that it's like, you don't even know, now they showed me, hey, check out these diamonds. I'm like, that looks like fucking MDMA. That looks like a quartz. What is that?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, because people are just naming them and then it starts picking up and then everyone starts calling that. But it's like, that's not what it's called. Like chill. Because for example, you have shatter, you have wax, you have honey, you have crumble, like you have like all these things, but it's the same thing as an extract. It's just like the consistency. But a lot of people that don't know about cannabis are like, what are you talking about? Like what's honey
totally.
and what's like shatter?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
because there really is a lot. Like I went to a dispensary, the only dispensary here in the city that actually works like a normal dispensary, and I was amazed. I mean, I had just been in LA as well, and it also blew my mind. But just to see all the different brands, and one brand has so many different products, and it's just like, I just won't get high, man. And then I see like people like that scares me. I feel like they want to take the plant also to the limit, and it's like, I want 99.9% THC, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I think we have to take it slowly because it's already, much stronger than what our parents used to smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, way stronger.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the old High Times magazines. Like, you see the pictures and they're like, I wouldn't smoke that with a 10-foot pole, And then you see the High Times now and it's like, I want to make love to that.
Yeah.
So, and not just how, and that happened because of how much more potent they are nowadays, because the flowers, they're nice and fat and juicy. And when you press those buds, it's fucking crazy, man. And that part's, I think important too, that people have to understand that marijuana right now is a lot stronger than it has ever been. So you have to really, know where you get your stuff. Try to get it from a legal place, or at least from someone that really knows and that they can get it for you, because there's a lot of potent stuff out there.
Yeah.
I've given back stuff like, no, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's like heroin. No, thank you.
Actually, I was reading that a long time ago in Amsterdam. There was like a movement back to like less THC because they was just getting too much THC, and people were like, no, like I just want to I want to work.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think a lot of people might eventually, even the people that consume THC, maybe they'll start using a lot more CBD.
Yeah.
Because they'll start trying it and they'll be like, this really works for me, and I'm more efficient because I'm not stoned or whatever, dude. I mean, a lot of people are very efficient, like Ricky Williams and all these NBA players, and and I guess us, we work all day and then we do this at night, and I mean, so there's a lot of people that are efficient, but a lot of people get stoned and they start doing a lot of stuff, and they'll just el famoso deja. Let's just. Okay, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll do that. Yeah, I know I have to. And so maybe the CBD is a great, maybe not. It's a great solution for those who want the effects of the plant and don't want to get buzzed, because everyone that I know that consumes CBD, it changed their life.
Yeah. Yeah, like so for those who don't know, like the compounds are THC, CBD. Those are the chemical compound. Well, the ones that you find the most on the plant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them,
There's a lot.
and they're called cannabinoids. But then CBD is the one that doesn't get you high, and THC is the one that gives you a high. But there is like research that says that you should always take THC with CBD because sometimes you can get cartridges which is like 100% CBD. I'm sorry, THC. So they do suggest, even like in Israel, they suggest you have to have
and I
CBD.
usually I read that, but the CBD that it has is minimum. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I think all those THC products, the carts and the wax and all that, they should add more CBD.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to consume another product, because I'd like to get the benefits of CBD while I smoke. Yeah. The THC, because I like the buzz, but I would love, because I know what CBD does, man. Yeah. The first time I heard about the endocannabinoid system, I was like, I knew it. I felt it, dude. Yeah. I said, there's no way. There's got to be some connection to this plant, and there is. Yeah. And that's what we were, reading these days, and it's amazing, the history of the plant, the connection that it has with the human race. It's been there forever, man.
Yeah, I see it like dogs. Like dogs have been with humans for a long, long time, and I see cannabis the same. It's like it's always been like a relationship with a plant. Now, just going back to the China thing, when they were, I'm not really sure if this is what you meant, but like usually when it's in the plains and it's a warmer climate, it's taller and skinnier. Yeah. So that's a sativa.
Sativa, yeah.
And then whenever you take it to the mountains or a higher elevation, when it's colder, then it gets shorter. And
like from Russia. I didn't know it come from Russia. This is why my landlord, Simon, he would say, Marvin, I know what smell in your house. I know it's the cannabis sativa. And I didn't know how he knew, but now I know.
Yeah, it grows.
That's crazy, over. Man.
Yeah, the other day I saw a video and it's like fields, just like a field of just hemp.
It's crazy, dude.
The tall one. But anyway, so that's where you start getting changes, and then that's probably how it became even taller and shorter, because they started taking them to different areas, and the plant just adapts. But it started in Asia, then it went down to Southeast Asia, and then it went through the Middle East, and then it just went from the east to the west, and then once it went into Europe,
the west is the best.
And then in Europe, then what happened was the colonizers, the colonization of the Americas. They brought it through like the Spaniards, though, like through the South America.
Yeah, because back then they use it for both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that they only use it for the hemp to build and to make textiles and shit for boats. No, they had both. They had the psychoactive part, and they had already identified. It was some Swedish guy, I believe. He said, this is the sativa. This is the indica, and what you can separate, and then when you put them together, and I saw that, man. That's pretty crazy, man. The way that the plant has traveled the world, and now it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah. Because also thanks to hydro.
Yeah.
Because that also changed, I think, the way that the growers were thinking, like, okay, I don't want them that large, and that's probably why they came out with these automatic seeds and said, like, this is perfect. Doesn't matter how high. Yeah, I don't need the photosynthesis. This is God in a seed. It's crazy, man.
And for those that don't know, what he's talking about is like, when the light changes, when there's more sun or there's less sun, the times are changing, or where the seasons are changing, then the plant knows, and it starts switching. It starts producing flower, things like that. But there are some. This one that you're talking about is ruderalis. Is like I guess you can say it's like a subspecies of sativa that it gets out of flowers automatically. It doesn't matter about the lights. It could be like always lights, or you can have 24/7 lights.
It's amazing, dude.
It will flower by itself after like some months, right? It automatically does that. There's other plants that do that. It's not just cannabis, but it's like somehow somebody was able to cross them where it started doing that. And like we say, that's not very old. Maybe 30, 40 years when that started happening. But yeah, it's very it's very interesting. I mean, what you have to think about is like what would happen if that would have never been banned. Like if it would have never banned cannabis, like maybe a lot of things would be made out of greener materials. Because if you remember Harrison Ford, he made a car that was made out of hemp and ran out of like hemp, oil.
But that wasn't Harrison Ford.
No?
No, Harrison Ford's the...
Oh, is the president. What did I say?
Harrison Ford is the actor.
Oh, okay. The president. No,
Han Solo.
There is a president that's called Harrison. No, Ford. No. Something. Yeah.
It's President Ford.
Yeah. I just gotta I'm kind of high. But yeah, so what's the name of it? Henry T. Ford.
Henry Ford. There
That's
you
the
go.
one. Okay,
There
so
you
that
go.
one, that's the one I'm talking about. He had a car, and if that, I guess there was two lines, which was like the biodiesels, or it was the oil, the petroleum based economy, and the U.S. ended up going the petroleum based economy. So if they would have never done that, I think it would be a better, cleaner environment.
Me too, and that's what I've always said about the big players, that are behind the scenes, and we never spoke about that industry, but the oil industry, obviously, man. I mean, it would have been such a greener place. I mean, because they used to use hemp for combustible for
Yeah,
oil as well, man.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be a very different planet. I don't know why it took them so long to finally. I mean, of course I do. It's all money,
Yeah.
and and it's never enough. And but now I think that the planets and everything is shifting
Yeah.
because this pandemic is a perfect demonstration. How paused the world is right now. It's crazy, man. It feels creepy.
Yeah.
And it's bad to see all these people going through all these, bad situations like here and everywhere where cannabis isn't legal. And if they would legalize it, they would be able to create an economy, that's missing from many countries. And it's missing because of all these big players like the cotton industry, like the tobacco industry, the alcohol industry,
But you
the
know what?
oil industry.
Taking it back to what you're saying about the COVID, I think, I never want to sound like too hippie, but I'm not even that hippie, but it's like, if you think about it, like COVID is like nature. So it always like checks the human race. Like it puts you in check, it's like, because that's what we're saying right now. It's like, there's all these deaths that we cannot control. And it's just, right now there's, I don't want to say like, there's a lot of talk about like, the virus is like mutating and it's, there's new strains and, it might be kind of hard for the vaccines to like, be able to compete with all these mutations that are happening. So I think it's very interesting that nature, sometimes I think the human race thinks that we're too good or we're like the smartest. But at the end of the day, nature will be like, no, 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 dude, I can kill you in 1 year if I wanted to.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's scary. It's scary because there's too much information. There's different opinions. It's a scary moment, but I've read a lot, and so has SAR, and I'm not asking you to light one up, but THC is good for your cannabinoid system, and you need your cannabinoid system healthy and strong because it's part of of you, and we really need to get this through to people and get rid of all this taboo and all this bad rap that this wonderful plant has. And as you can see, we've been here talking, we laugh, yes, we get stoned, hee hee ha ha, but we're normal people. We're trying to get a good message out to everyone. So I mean, give us likes, follow us, definitely, share with everyone, because that's what we want. We want to be able to get across to as many people as we can and just share good vibes and good interviews and good weed. That's
right.
That's pretty much what it's all about. And here the movement's looking good. I mean, they're really pushing for March, dude. They know that if we don't get something in and we sign something and the president signs off before April, we're screwed, man, because we have all these crazy internal elections and all the pieces are going to move and you have to start all over again and explain and convince them and oh man.
You know what? Also, it will be sad that because then you realize that I don't want to take it political, but you realize that like the laws are not respected in Mexico, even when it comes to the Supreme Court. Like we understand like maybe cops won't follow it, and maybe the governor doesn't follow it or the senator. But then even when it comes all the way to the Supreme Court, they just like all talk and they don't actually do anything because the Supreme Court has been telling them, hey, you got to regulate, you got to do this, and the Congress doesn't care. And they just if it happens again, that would be pretty sad, because if that happens for cannabis, it can be for anything, dude. Any law, they can just be like, oh well, we told them to do it, but they didn't want to do it, and then it just starts breaking down. But actually today is February 2nd, isn't it?
That's
I'm
right.
not sure when you guys are gonna watch this, but February 2nd. So February 1st, which was Monday, was a holiday in Mexico, but it's supposed to be the first date of the Congress. So when it starts back up, I don't think they worked yesterday, so it's today. Today they must have started.
Anti-Semites.
So they got
Everything is
3
closed
months.
because I mean there's not like a forced you don't have to you're not obligated to stay home, but they use like a, what are they called, semáforo, how do you call it, a stoplight here.
Stoplight, yeah.
And when it's red, you're supposed to stay home. So all like the big offices and a lot of stuff has been closed for a while. So it's been a very slow start to the year here, especially.
That's true. I didn't even think about that because that does come into effect.
Of
because they
course.
always use that as an excuse. They go like, "Oh, well, it was red, so we couldn't do anything," and they
That's
might use
right.
that, dude. And actually, right now, Mexico City is really bad. It's still in red. I don't see it coming back down, especially with like a lot of tourism is coming here. So it's like if it stays red, dude, that they could use that as an excuse for.
Do
not,
you feel that we should do the same as the States and not accept people from other countries right now?
I think they should test them before they come in. And the U.S. is now testing people
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
in. So
That's
now
what I
it's like
wanted to say.
Mexico's like left behind. He's like the only one that is like, oh, whatever, you can come, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
that's scary, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think the testing is important, or you have to, or have proof that you're already vaccinated.
yeah, one of
know?
the two, yeah.
Because I mean, it's crazy, dude. I agree. I see so many people in the street. I walk my dog every day, 3 times a day, so I have to go out and I see people and it's packed. It's
Yeah.
packed and with tourists, man.
Yeah.
I see so many foreigners and it's like, well, I'm happy that you're in Mexico and that you like Mexico, but this is scary, man. And the restaurants are packed, even though they extended their terraces and whatnot, but still, with when they're packed, dude. There's no social distancing
And I'm usually very positive about things, but I just don't see it on this COVID thing here in Mexico City because, like you say, they allow them. It's still red, so nobody's supposed to leave, but it's a whole political and also economical mess.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, you can be open, like you were saying, terrace, open air. But as soon as they said that, because I live in downtown, there's a lot of businesses. Everyone came back, and it's just like not good, man. A lot of people don't wear masks.
I think unfortunately, at least this is how I feel. In Latin America, it has to be a law. You
Yeah.
can't suggest and say, we suggest you stay home because the shit hit the fan. There's no more hospital beds, no more respirators. Please stay home, but you don't have to. So, I mean, if the restaurants want to open at whatever percent and it's not whatever percent, they're just open, dude. And it's very sad, dude, and it's very scary because it's confusing. And that's what I feel this whole pandemic has been for the majority of us. Confusing. And it's horrible to live like that. It sucks to live every day you wake up and you don't know what the hell is gonna go down. And that sucks, man. We gotta, we gotta get past this, man.
Yeah.
It's urgent.
Yeah, because I haven't even told you, but like he knows that we're gonna have an event in January, March. Well, it was actually gonna be in February, but then it got moved to March because of the pandemic. But now it's looking like we might actually postpone it like 100%.
For this year?
Yeah. Because it's
man.
like we don't know, and everything. I don't know if you read
How
this.
do you
like,
say incertidumbre? Uncertainty?
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the worst feeling
yeah,
a human can have, dude.
yeah,
That's why I left Venezuela, because I woke up uncertain every day.
yeah.
And that's how I've been feeling since AMLO's president and since COVID, man.
yeah.
It just kicked in with COVID. It's like, ugh, and that's rough, man. And I think a lot of people are feeling that, and it's not easy. And we just gotta keep strong, because it's. I think because I'm not negative. I think it's gonna last the whole year at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, even probably longer. Yeah, I've been reading things, like research and stuff like that. They're talking about 2 years, for developing countries. Mexico is already a developed country. Like when you look at those ranges, when the United Nations ranks them, but they're saying that developing countries are gonna have a really tough time getting out of it because mainly because vaccines. There's not enough vaccines, so they're gonna be the last ones to get them. So they're gonna be going in these cycles of red light, yellow light, red light, yellow light. So they're gonna be caught up in that cycle. So we'll see. Mexico hopefully those. Actually, I was reading they have 5 vaccines under research here in Mexico.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's like we were talking the other day. None of them are really approved.
Yeah,
You
which
know,
takes a long time.
and most of them to get where they had to jump some of the steps. So I mean, none of them are 100% kosher.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of testing going on, but it's scary, dude. You know, I mean, I know countries, I don't want to mention them, but you know, they've already put what 3 million vaccines, and it doesn't stop, dude.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
doesn't stop.
and now it's changing. It's mutating. You know, it's becoming a different strain. So well, not a different strain, but it's mutating. So yeah, that doesn't look good for Mexico because actually they say that one of the best ways to prevent that movement of that new strain, it's not a new strain, but new kind of COVID, is that you have to close the borders so it just stays in that one place, and then once they get rid of it, then they open the borders. But then here in Mexico, it's been open for everyone. Anyone can come to Mexico.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
they
It's
don't ask you
scary, dude.
anything. So it's gonna be just like a medley here of everything. But yeah, so let's just take it back again to the cannabis. You know, hopefully, you know, once all of this happens, once it becomes legal, and then we'll see what the new normal is, like they say in 2 years. Then we'll see what kind of industry happens here in Mexico with cannabis. Not just like recreationally, but also, you know, we were saying clothing. They actually do filters with that kind of like material. There's a bunch of things that you can do. Food, you can do like, you know, hemp protein, which is a lot of people don't know that, and it has no cannabinoids, it's not psychoactive or anything like that, it's just food. But yeah, it's gonna be a while. At least if they do legalize now, at least I think I mentioned this before, the users won't be, you know, penalized, or you know, all these problems that we have as users where, you know, they're going after us and everything and asking for bribes. At least that will stop. And I guess you're right. You know, if COVID happens and all of these things take too long, then people are gonna be cultivating their own. You know, if they're at home and they're like, you know, they have time, they might start cultivating and, you know, auto cultivating.
Yeah, there's a couple people that distribute real imported seeds here. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, they got the contact already, and they bring in one from Amsterdam or from wherever, or Italy, and and you can get real good quality seeds here. And as soon as I get my amparo,
Yeah.
the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna stop buying weed and I'm gonna start growing it.
Well, 3 months later,
Don't stop. 3 months
you're
later.
gonna be eating the plant.
Is that how long the Rutarelli takes? Because I'm going for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, at least 3 months. But yeah, maybe I'll time it better.
Yeah, you'll be going crazy. You'll be like, ah.
I'm gonna time it better.
And actually, you know, that seed business, seeds is like a whole business that is very interesting, dude. Because, you know, even though it's legal in the US and Canada, well, you know, like in some places, and in Canada fully, then once it becomes legal, then the rules and regulations for seed production and trading come in. So it's not just like anyone can
Yeah,
sell
of
seeds
course.
anywhere, dude. Like there's a
No,
whole
and I'm
industry.
sure
behind
it's very valuable to be the seed guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a seed bank, definitely. That's what I was telling my dad in Israel. I was telling him, because he's all like, you can hear it all over the news, and it's definitely coming. The whole, you know, like recreational part, and dispensaries are going to open. And he's telling me and all this, and
Oh,
I
in
said,
Israel?
yeah,
Did it legalize recreational already?
not yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But they're
It's-
going to, right?
Yeah, they're about to.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, one thing is Israel, and one thing is the States, and one thing is Mexico. So we need to legalize worldwide. This is the new campaign. It's not just for one country; it's for a whole world.
Yeah.
So we can make the world a better place.
What do you think about my marijuana plant with a mask?
I like it, man. It's been safe.
Yeah,
It's been responsible.
I think she's angry because she wanted actually some of this, but I don't share joints. Not during COVID.
So he's talking about like a little plush animal. Who gave it to you? How do you get that?
I got that the other day on the radio show in La Bestia.
Yeah.
I have a radio show called The Weedkend Show, and it's more music and faster interviews and stuff. It's fun. And Jiangsu Wampek from Alcan Org came. We're going to have him here very soon. He's just very busy because he actually has the only show, he produces the only show on Mexican TV, bro. Do you need a lighter, man?
I got it.
Oh, man, okay.
Thanks.
And it's very interesting. It's called Tiempos de Cannabis. And some very interesting people are going to be participating in this second season. It starts February 13th.
You're gonna be participating too.
I'm very excited to be part of this because it's an alliance for Latin America, and I think that's important, and that's why I keep saying it's not just for Mexico, it's for everyone, because it is important, that everyone has access to this plant, and yeah, it's a perfect example. Jiangsu has this amazing show. It's on ADN, which is a news channel from Azteca, which is one of the big, like CBS or Fox or one of those. It's Azteca. And it's called Tiempos de Cannabis. So, yeah, if you guys can check it out on YouTube, definitely check it out. For us, it's very important because it's, how do you say, public TV, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open TV.
Open TV, TV abierta. It's, so everybody gets it. You don't need cable. You don't need anything. You just need a TV. So, all these millions of Mexicans that are, going to be getting all this great information, real information about the plant, it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't have internet too. There's a whole part of society that is, that does not have internet. So they get everything from TV, like
That's
everything.
right.
And actually right now, there is with COVID, actually the kids are getting the schooling from TV because they have these programs for for the classes and everything. So yeah, that's why it's really important. This whatever Jiangsu is doing, he has a non-profit which is gonna get all the other non-profits in Mexico that are pro cannabis.
That's right.
They're gonna get all together and they're gonna become one. No, they're not gonna become one. They're gonna have one voice through this new
one
organization.
voice, one message. Be all on the same page.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is not just Mexico. It's all of Latin America because Latin America is way behind. The only country that's advanced is Uruguay. That's it. Colombia, kind of.
Yeah.
But
a few things in Argentina. Actually, Brazil is moving.
Argentina is moving. I see. I have a lot of friends there, and they're very excited. They're like, "Dude, you told me this was gonna happen." I'm like, "Yeah, bro. If you guys fight for your rights, and you get some smart guys in the government that see the potential of how good this is for the economy, then yeah, man. Yeah, I see Argentina doing well.
And Mexico legalizing helps a lot because those countries usually look up to Mexico to see what they're doing. And this is not just
it's like a cascade effect.
Yeah.
Same thing, Canada's an amazing example, and then you got the States, and then we learn here in Mexico from them, and then Mexico goes down to Central America and Guatemala and all that, and they learn from us, and and everybody, nowadays, thanks to the internet and all the technology, everyone, can share and travel easier and get around. And
it's not just us saying like, oh, they look up to this. It's like actually legally, I don't want to say legally, but like regulatory wise, there's a lot of like health departments of other countries. They don't make everything. They just look at a reference country. And Mexico is a reference country for all the Latin American countries. Well,
That's
except
right.
I think Brazil and Argentina.
Well, it's that most people, they don't even understand. Canada, U.S., and Mexico is North America. It's that simple. Yes, we're very different countries, but we're very close, and we have a lot of things in common. So that part's kind of cool. I like that. I like that about North America. I've always been from South America, and Central America is different as well because it has a lot of Maya still influence in a lot of those places. In South America, no. So you have to go all the way to Peru.
The way I was saying it right now, yeah, I don't like that. I sometimes forget how people say it in the U.S. It's like, oh, Canada, North America, because sometimes they even change it. They don't even say Mexico. They go like, oh, North America, Canada, and the U.S., and then they go Latin America's the rest. But there's a lot of difference, and a lot of like cultural differences.
Definitely.
Like you're saying, like there's a Maya influence, but there's also like an African influence on Brazil and
that's why I was saying it's so different down there.
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't see color, and I don't understand all these problems around the world, especially in the States with black people. I don't understand why do people see color, man?
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it, dude. For me, everyone's the same, and I see that there's good black people, there's good white people, there's good, yellow people. I mean, and there's bad of all as well. There's good and bad people, and the color thing just blows my mind. And I think it really helped to grow up in Venezuela because, like you said, the black people there, they come from Africa.
Yeah.
So, they're completely African American. And for me, I mean, that's who I hung out with, man.
Yeah.
At the beach and, and all my close friends, my roommate's African American, I mean, and I see that, still going on and it's crazy, dude. That's got to stop for sure.
Yeah.
This can help.
Yep. Bring people together.
All we are saying is give weed a chance.
Is that from the Beatles?
No, actually, that was from Ringo when he was really high and recorded it and sent it to me. No, just joking. But yeah, man, just give weed a chance.
Yeah. And
Give the Weedkend Show podcast a chance.
Yeah, subscribe, share, like. Also, we are on this is an audio podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, but we don't really promote it a lot. But we have to start promoting more. You can find this wherever you get your podcasts. Actually, except Apple.
Those bastards.
Yeah, I saw the other day that we're not on there anymore. So I think they might have censored us, but I gotta check it out. Yeah.
That's okay, man. Yeah, and we have to always, when I'm doing like unboxings and stuff, that's why I whistle. Because, it's like, if it's audio and they're not watching me doing my stupid faces and all that, it's not that fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tricky.
Actually, I don't know if you saw this when you did the barber video.
Yeah.
There was like some music there for like 5 seconds, like the background music, and they flagged it as copyright infringement.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was just like some radio station that was playing.
No, I think it was some guy playing the trumpet in the street, dude. Seriously.
No, it was an English song.
Ah.
Yeah, they were playing it when they were cutting your hair.
Oh, there you go. You mean the music that the barber truck played
Yeah.
for me? Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so they get you for anything. But yeah, hopefully, we're not doing anything bad. So it's like, actually, we have the right in Mexico. For those who don't know, in Mexico you can have 5 grams, and
You gotta fight. Ding,
So
ding,
you have
your
rights.
right to fumar.
to podcast.
The podcast. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that's it up for today, man.
Yeah, it was a good talk. We just wanted you guys to know that Actually, I didn't know either. Like I knew it came from back then, but I didn't know it was that long ago. 6,000 years. Well, 8,000 years total of the last time that they have seen humans using cannabis. So yeah, it's a long time, and it's only a blip. And it's unfortunate that we were in that time, but we're also fortunate to be in this time. But it's like a lot of people didn't get the best part of like the cannabis experience, but
now they
things
can.
happen. Yeah.
And that's the important thing.
Yeah, the future. Moving forward.
That's right. The past is the past. I'm Marvin.
I'm sorry.
This is the Weedkend Show podcast. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon. Follow, share. Much love. Muchos buenos humos para todos, baby. Ciao.
That's right.